Okay, this is part, I think, 3 of the Ford Fairmont. And today I'm going to try and do a quick repair on this. This you can see where the edge of the paint there. This rusted, the paint rusted off. So what I did is I put some oil, the grease on it to kind of keep it from rusting any further. I don't know if it worked. I got to get the hood ornament off, then I'm going to try and sand it with this, and I got some metal etching primer and I'm going to try and paint it. First thing I got to do is get this off, clean it with some gasoline to get the grease off, then try and sand it, hope I don't go through. Also, it's starting, you can see the little bubbles there, it's starting to rust through. Big socket to get this off. What is this? It's a 1 inch. What I did is I took this door off. It's just 2 screws and it comes off, and I took the door to Home Depot. I cleaned up this area right here, and I took the door to Home Depot and I asked the lady if she could match some metal paint to this color, and this is what she ended up giving me, which is basically the same stuff I used to paint the bathrooms in the houses. It's like the last of the remaining oil base that they are allowed to sell in California. So they did a pretty good job, and this was like $12. Okay, I cleaned it up as best I could and I took it back to where it was sticking. Now I'm going to spray it with some of this and then the paint. Okay, well, here's the primer, so we'll let that dry. Weather's good today, it's in the low 80s, so got perfect weather to do this.
Yeah, so it's not a dumbing down process, it's something greater than that, and I don't know what it is, but I can see where this is going. You know, look what they did with this Olympics. I mean, here, you know what this is?
No.
It's a toothpaste bar.
Oh, yeah, it's a dip.
There was no one before.
Oh.
Can you imagine they made that crap up?
Well, it came out okay. They matched the color pretty well. I'll give them credit for that. The problem is it's so hot today that it's drying, you know, when it hits the metal, and I tried to shade it and it's still, and then the wind came up and it's got a bunch of, you know, plant crap in it. So it'll be okay for now. At least, you know, from this far back, you can't tell that it was all what it looked like earlier. The Fairmont's all legal to drive now. I put it back on current registration and did the insurance. And I went by Pep Turds and picked up a few items. I picked up a 7-pound radiator cap. I know this calls for a 16, but that's way too much pressure for an old car like this, and especially since this had a single core radiator and now it's got a pretty much a brand new double core, and I got the filter in there so it won't plug up. And I added this fuel filter because the gas and in the tank is from about 1998 and it's a full tank, so there might be some rust in there with that. So I'll add some alcohol, maybe a little acetone. By little I mean a capful. Alcohol help any water that's in there blend in with the gas. And hopefully this is the big Ford fuel filter off the modern injection cars. And then I picked up some motorcycle motor oil. I was told by some friends that work at Edelbrock that this has a zinc sulfate in it and will protect a flat tappet cam like car like this, flat tappet engine. And I picked up a bottle of this, which is probably more of a gimmick than anything, but I figured I'd put that in the gas and it would make me feel good about myself. So it's ready to roll. I'm meeting some friends for a ride along to some mines this weekend. So I'm going to drive this thing about 80 miles each way on the freeway. I figure one thing it might do with the old gas in it is ping like crazy. So if that happens, I'll just pull the vacuum advance and let the timing run at no vacuum advance until I get this old gas out of there that's probably got octane of about 40. So that's it. Look at this. This is the original Motorcraft 16-pound cap from 1980. That's pretty impressive. As far as my basically semi-gloss house paint job goes, this actually didn't come out bad. Well, it came out horrible if you look at it up close, but the idea pretty much works. And as you can see, if I come back here, you really don't notice how horrible it is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this off and then go after it with a roller. Use one of those little mini sponge rollers, and redo it again because it looks pretty ghetto up close. I got to put the hubcaps. I got 185/70s on the front, and some more stuff I got to fix up there. I think this is a 205/75, so it gives it a little bit of that raise in the back. Pretty much got the inside cleaned up. I spent a little bit of time cleaning the black mold up. I've already started packing the camping and mine exploring. Looks like this here is going to have to be painted. But yeah, I've already started packing my equipment in here. I got to replace that squiggy boimler in the steering. That it's just floating on the safety stops right now. If the transmission does start to leak again, which it hasn't been leaking at all, but if it does start to leak again when I'm on the road, I got 4 gallons. This is just ATF. I put in here bulk out of the bulk thing. So I got 4 gallons of ATF there in case it starts leaking. I guess I should put my tire changing equipment in here too. I got a full spare here. It's a smaller size tire, but it's a full spare. And I've got this is just filtered water, and that's coolant. If it forms a radiator leak or blows the one of the freeze plugs out, which this motor was known to do. Also, I got the lacquer thinner. That's from that's what I use to clean up, not gasoline. I know I said gasoline. I use lacquer thinner.